Good evening and welcome to CSD's production of The Miraculous Journey of Edward Tulane. At this time, we ask you to please turn off all cell phones and other electronic devices.
Before we begin, we would like to take a moment to prepare your hearts for the story you are about to hear. Our goal as storytellers is to emulate God's truth, goodness, and beauty, and to draw you, the audience, to the heart of Christ.
As you embark alongside Edward in his miraculous journey, you will see the transformative power of love through his experiences with compassion, loss, friendship, heartbreak, grief, despair, and ultimately, redemption.
Just as Edward is forever changed by this redemptive love, so we are changed by the power of God's love in our lives. Ephesians 2:4-5 says this, "But God, being rich in mercy, because of the great love with which he loved us, even when we were dead in our trespasses, made us alive together with Christ. By grace you have been saved."
Edward's journey represents our own journey towards sanctification, as we are wholly loved by a perfect and unyielding God. We hope that you experience a glimpse of this redeeming love as we tell this story tonight.
And now, without further ado, please enjoy the miraculous journey of Edward Tulane.
Once in a house on Egypt Street, there lived a rabbit made almost entirely of china. But how did such a thing come to be? Did the rabbit belong in this fine house? Was this the rabbit's home? Ah, now that is an interesting question. Grandmother, you're back!
You didn't think your grandmother Pellegrina would miss your birthday, did you?
Oh, grandmother, for me?
Yes, Abilene, happy birthday.
He's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. What's he made of?
China, the finest china.
I love him. I'll always love him.
I'm glad. I thought you could use a special friend. Now, what shall be his name?
Edward Tulane.
Well, Edward Tulane, I hope you realize how fortunate you are.
And so Edward Tulane came to live at the house on Egypt Street. He was very fortunate indeed. Abilene loved the china rabbit.
Abilene, come along now. You'll be late for school.
I'm coming, Mother. I just have to put Edward in his spot.
Oh, I know.
Mother.
Good morning, Edward. You're looking rather dapper today.
What's that, Edward? Oh, he says thank you and that you look rather lovely yourself.
Why, thank you, Edward.
Now, Edward didn't say any such thing. He couldn't say anything with his painted mouth after all. And what he really was thinking was...
I do look good, don't I? Now, fix my tie. I'm sure it's crooked. You really should be more careful with the tie.
Oh, your watch. I remember. There. When the big hand is on 12 and the little hand is on 3, I'll come home to you.
Abilene.
The tie! Fix the tie! Oh, dear!
And so Edward spent his days staring out upon Egypt Street, listening to the ticking of his clock. And at 3 o'clock, Abilene would return.
I'm home, Edward. And how was your day?
What are you doing? Don't move me now. It'll be dark soon, and I'll be able to see my reflection in the window.
Oh, Edward, if only everyone were as nice and considerate as you are.
Uh-huh.
Edward Tulane had little interest in people in their lives. Now, nobody knew this. Nobody could read his thoughts. That is, nobody except for perhaps one. But why won't you sail with us to London tomorrow?
Because I will not, that's why. Now tell me, will you be taking Edward on this voyage?
Of course. How could I possibly go on a journey without Edward?
Don't hold me so tightly. You'll wrinkle the silk.
Yes. How could you possibly?
Edward watches out for me.
Does he?
Why does that Pellegrina always stare at me like I'm some criminal?
Shall you tell us a story tonight, Grandmother?
Yes. I believe tonight there will be a story.
Shall Edward listen too?
Oh, yes. Edward should pay particularly close attention.
I don't like the sound of that at all.
Once, there was a princess who was very beautiful. She shone as bright as the stars on a moonless night.
Bright as the stars on a moonless night. That's kind of nice, actually.
But what difference did it make that she was beautiful? She was a princess who loved no one and cared nothing for love, even though there were many who loved her. One day, a prince from another kingdom came. As soon as he saw the princess, he fell in love with her. He gave her a ring of pure gold. Placing the ring on her finger, he said, "I love you." But do you know what the princess did? She took the ring off her finger, put it in her mouth, and swallowed it. "That is what I think of love," she said. And she ran away, deep into the woods. Looking around, she realized that she was lost.
Did the prince come and find her?
Listen. Eventually, she came across a little hut. Inside the hut, she saw an old witch. "I am a beautiful princess. My father is a powerful king. You must help me at once, or there will be consequences." At this, the witch said, "Consequences? You dare talk to me of consequences? Very well then. Tell me the name of the one you love." "Love? I love no one," said the princess proudly. "You disappoint me," said the witch, raising her hand. In an instant, the beautiful princess was changed into a warthog. The warthog princess ran from the hut back into the woods. There she came across several men. The men had been sent by the king to find a beautiful princess. So when they saw the ugly warthog, they shot it. Pow!
No!
Yes. The men brought the warthog back to the castle. There, the cook slit open its belly to find a ring of pure gold. The cook placed the ring on her finger and finished butchering the warthog. The end.
No!
Yes, the end.
But it can't be. No one's living happily ever after.
Ah, but how can a story end happily if there is no love? Now it's late and you must go to sleep. Tomorrow, a new adventure begins.
What are you doing with Edward?
I'm saying bon voyage. You disappoint me. Good night, Abilene.
Good night, grandmother.
What was that? This is why I don't listen to stories.
I love you, Edward. No matter how old I get, I'll always love you.
Yes, but turn me on my side so that I may see the stars. As bright as the stars on a moonless night.
The next morning, Edward, Abilene, and her parents set sail for England.
Shall we sit up here on the deck, Edward?
Is my hat on straight? I'm sure to be complimented on the hat.
There, you look like you were born for the sea in your sailor suit. Oh, your watch. I forgot to wind it this morning. I'd better take care of that.
Look, I have more admirers approaching. Get out of the way.
What's he supposed to be wearing?
It's a sailor suit. It's very fashionable.
I don't like these two heathens. Take me away.
He has many different outfits. He even has his own pair of silk pajamas.
You hear that, Amos? He has his own pair of silk pajamas. Let me see him.
No!
Stop it, you man. I demand you release me at once.
Give him to me!
This is humiliating.
Oh, I'm sorry. Here you are.
No!
Oops. Good catch, Amos.
He's mine. Give him to me.
Throw him.
Don't throw him. It's made of china. He'll break.
And Edward flew out over the railing and sailed into the ocean.
Edward, no!
He caught one last glimpse of Abilene standing on the deck, holding his gold pocket watch in her outstretched hand.
My pocket watch!
I can't figure it out, sorry.
And he began to sink. He went down and down. Eventually, We landed on the ocean floor, face down in the muck.
I don't like this. I don't like this one bit.
Is it too long?
Hours passed.
Abilene will come and find me. It's just like waiting for her to come home from school. If only I had my watch.
Days passed, and Abilene didn't come.
As bright as the stars on a moonless night. I'll never see the stars again.
Weeks passed.
Do I have all my hair?
Why did the beautiful princess become a warthog?
And then months. Then a powerful storm came.
I'm out of the muck, at last. Wait, what's going on? What is this?
And before he knew what had happened, Edward was pulled out of the water.
You ain't a fish, that's for sure. You're a rabbit, I reckon. A toy rabbit. I'll bring you home to my wife, Nellie. She'll fix you up.
Back on land, the old fisherman paraded Edward through the seaside village.
Wait till Nellie gets sight of you. You'll like Nellie. She's had her sadness, but she's an all-right girl. Now, you see that? That's your North Star. You ain't never gotta be lost where that feller is.
The North Star. I thought I'd never see the stars again.
The fisherman and Edward finally arrived at a little green cottage.
Nellie, I brought you a gift from the sea.
Oh, rabbit! Oh, Lawrence, you brung me a rabbit. Have you ever seen anything so fine?
This is one very discerning woman.
She's beautiful.
She?
What shall I call her?
Do I look like a girl?
I was thinking Susanna.
Susanna. Just right.
No, it's not right. It's not right at all.
Well, Susanna, I guess you'll be needing some clothes now, won't you?
No, don't send me by the window. Anyone walking by will see me in this ridiculous dress.
It can get lonely here all day while Lawrence is out at sea. Back when we were children a little, I had my hands full, but nowadays it seem awful empty. I guess you know a thing or two about loneliness yourself.
Loneliness? Yes.
But now you're here, Susanna from the sea. Do you like the dress I made you? My daughter Lolly always makes fun of the clothes I make. Lolly is our oldest. Then there's Ralph. Then there's Raymond. He died when he was just 5 years old. Pneumonia. It is the worst thing, having watched someone you love die right in front of you and you can't do nothing about it.
You've had your sadness.
I suppose you think I'm daft talking to a toy, but it seems to me that you're listening, Susanna.
I am, Nellie. I am.
Sometimes, at night, after dinner, Lawrence would take Edward onto his shoulder and go for a walk under the stars.
Every sailor needs to know her constellation, Susanna. You see that? That's Andromeda. And over there, that's Pegasus. I find comfort in the stars. There's comfort knowing my old friends are out there watching me.
Yes.
The rabbit stayed with the old fisherman and his wife for many weeks, listening to their stories and memories. And when his own troubling memories haunted him,
Warthogs, witches, oceans, darkness.
Nellie was always able to comfort him.
Hush, little baby, don't say a word. Mom is gonna buy
night, Nellie sang to the rabbit, gently allowing him to let go of his dark thoughts.
And if that diamond ring don't shine, Mom's gonna buy you. And if that diamond ring turns brass, Mom is gonna buy you a looking glass.
And so, for a very long time, life was sweet. And then one day, they had a visitor.
Hello, Ma. Lolly, what a surprise.
I just had to get out of the city, you know, so I thought I'd surprise you and Pop.
What a lovely thing to do.
What's this?
That's Susanna.
You've got yourself a toy rabbit named Susanna?
Your father found her. She came up in the net. She didn't have no clothes on her, so I made her a dress.
Have you gone round the bend, Ma? Rabbits don't need clothes.
Well, this one seemed to.
Well, I see your sewing skills haven't improved.
How dare you? This dress is perfect.
The next morning,
Let go of me.
You've got the old folks bewitched now, don't you, Susanna? They've been treating you like some kind of rabbit child. Well, it ain't right. I'm going to put an end to this right now. Hey, Ma!
Yes, dear?
I'm going to take the truck and run some errands.
Wait! Help! Nellie! Lawrence!
Lolly took Edward to the town dump. She threw him onto the garbage pile, and she drove away, leaving the rabbit alone.
I'll show her. I'll pick her up by the ears and throw her on the garbage pile. That's what I'll do.
As the days passed, more and more garbage is thrown onto the pile.
It's like I'm back on the bottom of the ocean. Nope, it's worse.
Weeks passed.
If only I had my watch.
Then, on his 180th day at the dump, Edward felt the garbage around him shifting.
What's happening?
Suddenly, he saw the light of day again.
The sky! I'm free!
And there, staring him in the face, was a dog.
What have you found there, girl?
Put me down!
You're a toy, aren't you? And somehow you got separated from the child who loves you.
Edward felt a sharp pain in his chest.
Abilene. Abilene loved me.
So, Malone, you are lost. Well, Lucy and I are lost too. If you like, you can be lost with us. I found it much more agreeable to be lost in the company of others. My name is Bull, and this here is Lucy.
And so Edward took to the road with a hobo and his dog.
Now, Malone, I hope you understand that we are always on the move, though in truth we are going nowhere. That, my friend, is the irony of our constant movement.
As the sun set in the west, the three stopped at the edge of a field.
This looks like a downright comfortable place to spend the night. In the morning, I'm gonna fix you up with the proper outlaw look. Yes, sir, you will look like a genuine rabbit on the run.
A rabbit on the run.
Looks like you've made yourself a new friend, Malone.
I think I've made two.
And so, to the comforting sounds of Bull snoring and Lucy's whimpering in her sleep, Edward looked at the stars.
Andromeda, Pegasus, there's the North Star. You see, Bull, we're not really lost. We can see the North Star.
The next day, Bull created a new outfit for Edward. Susanna was gone. He was now Malone. And the three travelers set off for nowhere.
They journeyed for a very long time. Occasionally, they met up with others who were lost.
Hello there, Jack. Hey, Bull. Hey, Malone. Hey, Lucy. I used to have a dog once. His name was Bullet.
What happened to Bullet?
He's watching over my family back in North Carolina.
North Carolina?
Look at Malone. He's listening to every dang word we're saying.
He's a great listener. It helps me to remember.
Izzy, say, could I have a word with Malone?
Of course you can.
I want to tell you about my kids. Helen, Jack Jr., and Taffy. I had to leave them. I had to. There was no work, and I had to find some. Now, something could happen to me, and then Helen, Jack Jr., and Taffy. You remember that, okay, Malone?
Helen, Jack Jr., and Taffy. I'll remember, Jack. I'll remember.
Word spread around the town about the toy rabbit and his gift for remembering. Soon, wherever they went, a hobo would take Edward aside and whisper the names of his children in the rabbit's ear.
Betsy.
Jimmy.
He listened to every name and to every story.
Ted. He plays baseball.
Nadine, she's got a sweet tooth.
And his heart opened wide and wider still.
This is love. This must be love.
The rabbit traveled with Lucy and Bull for 7 happy years. And then, one night in a rail yard outside of Memphis.
There's an empty boxcar now. In you go. Malone, you keep the first watch. Old Lucy and I are going to get a little shut-eye.
Bull! Someone's coming! Bull!
Oi, you bum, wake up. You think this is a bloody motel? Oh, yous is lucky. They don't let us fry it with moving trains no more. What's this?
That's Malone.
Malone, huh? Now I've seen everything. A bum of a toy rabbit.
It's all right, Lucy.
Yeah, it's all right, Lucy. Hey, Lucy, you ever seen a rabbit fly? Watch this. Better yet, fetch.
Lucy, no!
As he flew through the air, Edward Tulane caught one last glimpse of the boxcar before it disappeared into the night.
Bull! Lucy!
And then he was on the ground, staring up at the sky. The world was silent.
Andromeda, Pegasus, Bull, Lucy, I'm sorry I couldn't be there to protect you from that man. I can't do anything but lie here. The North Star, Lawrence, and Abilene, and Nellie. Abilene, Egypt Street, looking out the window. You coming home.
Stars faded as night became day.
Coming home to me.
The old gray mare, she ain't what she used to be, ain't what she used to be, ain't what she used to be. The old gray mare, she ain't what she used to be many long years ago. What's this? Huh, how'd it end up out here? Well, there's a use for everything and everything has its use. Huh, and I know exactly how to use you.
So Edward Tulane was on the move once again. This time, he was in a little vegetable garden. A boy was there, too.
that ought to do it.
He's a rabbit, isn't he?
No, from now on, he's a scarecrow.
Well, he don't look too scary to me. He looks kind of nice.
What do you know, Bryce? I ain't paying you to stand around gawking. Get back to work.
Yes'm.
Now, Clyde, you scare away them crows.
Clyde.
Get to work, Clyde. Scare them crows off.
Go on. Go away, birds. Oh, how pointless. No good as a scarecrow either.
The birds attacked Edward, nipping at his clothing, circling his head.
Night finally came, and the birds flew away.
If I could fly, I would fly away too.
But on this night, even the stars seemed to mock him.
I'm all alone, useless and alone.
Psst. Hey, over here. I come to save you.
Save me? Why?
Now let's get out of here before the old lady catches us.
You've saved me, but for what?
My little sister had a baby doll, just like you. She loved that baby doll. But he broke it. He came home drunk, stepped on the doll's head, and smashed it into 100 million pieces. Sarah Ruth ain't had nothing to play with since. He says she don't need nothing because she's sick and she ain't gonna live. But he don't know.
They arrived at a house, small and crooked, not much more than a shack.
Sarah? Sarah Ruth? You gotta wake up now, honey. I brung you something.
A dancing doll. Go on and have a good laugh.
He's yours. I got him special for you.
Special for me.
From the moment I seen him, I knew you two belonged together. So what's his name going to be?
Jangles.
Nobody has ever held me like this before.
Jangles.
Sarah Ruth.
Days passed. Every morning, Bryce would go out to find food for his sister. Edward spent all his time with Sarah Ruth. Some days they would play with an old cigar box filled with buttons.
I wish I could protect you, but I can only... You just hold on tight.
Hey there, honey. I brung you a delicious biscuit tonight. Now I'll hold Jangles. And me and him got a surprise for you. But only if you eat that biscuit, okay? I got this idea the night I brung him to you. So, how are you doing on that biscuit? Are you done yet?
No more.
Come on, honey. One more bite. You've got to keep your strength up.
No, can't.
Oh, well. All right, then. I guess you've had enough. Are you ready for your surprise now?
Yes.
What's happening to me?
Dancing!
Do you like it, Sarah Ruth? Right. Make my legs kick again. She loves that.
There. That's all right, honey. Do you need a breath of fresh air? Let's go take a peek at the stars for a minute.
If I could fly, I would fly high up to the stars where the air is clear and sweet. There, high above the world, I would hold Sarah Ruth in my arms, and she could play and laugh and dance, and she wouldn't ever have to cough again.
Look.
A falling star. Make a wish, honey.
I wish.
I wish.
Days and weeks passed. Every evening, Bryce would play the harmonica, and Edward would dance as Sarah Ruth grew weaker.
Why isn't she laughing? Sarah Ruth, I'm doing the kicks you like, Sarah Ruth.
Honey, you've got to eat something.
Can't.
Blood. That's all right, honey. Don't worry about it.
Bryce stopped leaving the house. He never left her side.
Breathe, honey. Breathe, please.
Breathe. Please, please, breathe.
On a bright morning in September, Sarah Ruth stopped breathing.
Gone, Jangles.
Gone? Where did she go?
Their father came. They buried her under a tree she had liked. Their father left.
Well, no reason to stay here no more. Come on, Jangles. We're going to Memphis. I bet nobody's ever seen a rabbit dance.
Edward danced on a dirty street corner in Memphis. Bryce set out Sarah Ruth's bedroom box in front of them, and people would drop pennies and nickels into it. On and on, Bryce played. On and on, Edward danced.
Don't stop. Keep playing, Bryce.
But Bryce stopped playing.
Are you crying, Bryce? Tears. Do they help?
People came and went.
Pellegrina? Look at me. You've got your wish. I've learned how to love, and it's a terrible thing.
Well, Jangles, looks like we got us enough to eat. Come on.
The diner was called Neil's. Bryce sat at the counter.
I'll take some pancakes and some eggs and some steak. And I want some toast, too.
He ate it all.
Well, you was hungry for sure. Do you want anything else, darling?
No, thank you. I ain't got enough.
I see. Well, you're going to have to talk to Neil about that. Neil!
You came in here hungry, right?
Yes, sir.
And you ordered some food, a lot of food, and you ate it all, right?
Yes, sir.
Now I want my money.
You ever seen a rabbit dance?
What?
He could dance for you. He could dance to pay for what I ate.
This is what I think of
Don't
dancing
stop.
rabbits.
What are you doing? Give him back!
He flew through the air. As he flew through the air, he couldn't see Bryce. He couldn't see Neil. He couldn't see the countertop.
No!
And the world, Edward's world, went black.
I'm walking. No strings. No one is controlling me. I'm walking. Sarah Ruth, where are you?
She's in the stars now, Susanna.
The stars. They are so far away. I have to get to her. What's happening? Wings? I'm coming, Sarah Ruth, I'm coming.
Please, Edward, stay with us.
To lose you again.
It would break my heart.
It would break my heart.
It would break my heart.
It is broken already. My heart is broken.
Ah, there you are. Hello. Your head was broken in pieces, but I fixed you.
Where am I?
No need to thank me. It's my job. I'm a doll mender. A little boy brought you in and gave you to me if I promised to fix you.
Bryce.
It's quite extraordinary, really. He gave you up so that you may live, so to speak. But no matter. I have much to do. But when I am done, I shall sell you and make a handsome profit.
But my heart is still broken.
Except for the different cut of the suit and the very faint lines on his face. He looked the same as he did when he left the doll maker all those many years ago. Edward was placed on a high shelf for display.
Here you go, my lovely. Sit next to this fine gentleman. You two have much in common. You have both been saved.
I am done with hope. I am done with love. I am done.
Hello. Have you been here long?
Months and months. But I don't care. One place is the same as the other.
But that's not true. I've lived for 100 years, and I've been in countless places, and they're never the same. And I am never the same either. In every place, I become a different doll.
100 years?
At least. That's what the doll mender said. And from the cracks on your face, I can see that you have seen a bit of life as well, yes?
Yes.
My face has its own fair share of cracks. We both have had the chance to learn some of life's lessons.
Hard lessons.
Wonderful lessons. And we keep learning, don't we? Every time a new person comes into our lives, we start off on a new adventure. I wonder who will come for me this time.
I don't care if anyone comes for me. I'm done with love, and I'm done with loving. It's too painful.
Pish, where is your courage?
I guess I'm done with that too.
You disappoint me.
What did you say?
You heard me. You disappoint me. If you have no intention to love or to be loved, then this whole journey is pointless. Why, you might as well hop up off the shelf right now and get it over with.
I would if I were able.
Shall I push you?
No, thank you. Not that you could, anyway.
Open your heart. Someone will come. But first, you must open your heart.
The next day, a little girl came into the shop and took the old doll away. Long after she had left, her words echoed in Edward's ears.
Someone will come. No, I don't believe it. And how could I go through it all again? It's too painful. Someone will come.
And each time he thought these words, he allowed himself to hope a little bit more.
Someone will come.
Weeks turned into months, months into seasons, seasons turned into years.
Someone will come.
Then, one rainy spring morning, someone came.
Good morning.
Ah, good morning. How may I help you?
Well, I'm looking for something for my daughter, a special friend.
Yes, this one here is quite popular.
She is lovely, but I was hoping for something a little more unique.
I understand. Perhaps this one.
She is beautiful, but I don't know. Perhaps the doll isn't right. Thank you for your time.
Madam, if I may, I do have one more thing to show you. Perhaps it is what you're looking for.
I know you. Who are you? How do I know you?
A memory came into Edward Tulane's mind. A memory of a little girl many years ago. A little girl who had grown up into a woman.
My pocket watch? Abilene?
Edward?
Edward! Yes, my name!
Edward!
It's me!
Once there was a china rabbit who was loved by a little girl.
One day, on an ocean journey, the rabbit fell overboard and was rescued by a fisherman who gave the rabbit to his wife.
The rabbit was buried and unburied by a dog.
He traveled with hobos and, for a short time, was a scarecrow.
Once there was a rabbit who loved a little girl and watched her die.
The rabbit danced on the streets to the music of a poor little boy.
The rabbit's head was smashed in the diner and was put back together again by a doll mender.
And the rabbit swore that he would not make the mistake of loving ever again.
Once there was a rabbit who danced in a garden with the daughter of the woman who had loved him at the beginning of his journey.
As they danced in circles, it was as if they had wings and were flying.
Once, oh marvelous once, there was a rabbit who found his way home.